Welcome back to the channel. Hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for watching. As you know, Tesla had their earnings call and we were able to gather a lot of information, and let's go over it. And here we have a lot of information that we want to cover. Now, this is going to be pretty much the breakdown of the earnings call and the items that they focused on, and then we'll discuss those a little bit more in depth. But let's go ahead and start. So, opening remarks from Elon, we saw that Tesla is above 50% growth expected in 2022. It's over time. Tesla believes full self-driving to be the most profitable offering from Tesla. Elon still believes they will achieve full self-driving at a level safer than a human being by end of 2022. I think they still have some stuff going on by the time they figure it out. Full self-driving is getting better every single time. I wonder how long they're going to stay with vision, or if they're going to incorporate any other sensors, or is vision going to be the component going forward. There's been some rumors of an upgrade in the cameras, especially since Sony came out with their new camera systems, which supports higher megapixel and resolution, so there might be more capture and better sensing. So if they're going to go that route, the fourth generation of the sensors, the MCU and the vision cameras, so if they're updated to the fourth generation, then we can probably see it being better than what it is. So I think they can achieve that with some of the new hardware if they can implement it. Now, value of vehicle expected to dramatically rise more than any other product in history thanks to full self-driving. We are seeing the prices of the cars increase. They have not increased in the last few months. The last increase was around December, but the Model Y long range started at $49 and ended up at $58,990, where we have the Model Y Performance is at $63,990, with an increase of about $2,000 within the last year. So vehicle prices might remain the same. Full self-driving, we did see an increase to $12,000. So currently, we're looking at FSD at $12,000. And there's a chance that it will increase again. As we can recall, it started with $5,000 and slowly increased to $7,000, $10,000, and now $12,000. The subscription still maintained the same, so if you do the subscription piece, you can get it for $199 a month. So anybody wanting to try full self-driving can get the subscription, but it also varies if you will get the beta software where you can experience it to the fullest. Not everybody is part of that plan. So let's go ahead and cover some of the other things. We're looking at more products to be announced in subsequent calls. Now, depending on what they mean by more products, we'll be discussing the 4680 cells more specifically. Will they be talking about the Austin Ys that are going to be coming out? We'll cover that a little bit later in this text. What could be what they're discussing overall. Now, because Elon did state that they're not looking to create any new vehicles this year, with even a delay on the Cybertruck. We did see some new prototypes with pictures and videos, and we'll look at those. But there are definitely a lot of different options, but nothing for a $25,000 car. It looks like there's not focus. They are focusing on the, I believe it's Optimus the robot, which is what they see as a big next thing for the company. The biggest thing is that there's going to be scaling and output is a big focus for Tesla in 2022. And part of the delay is the chipsets. They stated that they have decent amount of batteries, but it's the chip shortage that is impacting the vehicle production and how many cars they can put out. If Tesla were to introduce a new vehicle, they determined that overall output would decrease. So 2022 was focused on supply chain optimization and production. No new vehicles will be introduced in 2022, as they will continue to be parts unconstrained. So Optimus's new robot product, and hope to bring it new vehicles and products to market in 2023. That's where the rumored Cybertruck is to be released in 2023. Now, I think Tesla is focusing on Optimus because they can see it replacing some of the labor shortages, and that's something that Elon discussed on the side as well. So depending on if they can produce more or less cars, robot has the potential to be more significant, to be bigger than vehicle business over time. 4680s. Now, this was a big focus for a lot of people wanting to know about the 4680 cells and the focus on production of the 4680s. They are very focused. It is being built at the Texas Giga factory, and that's going to be the main facility with the cars coming out of it. So 4680s are not constrained in volume plans for 2022, so we should be good with the batteries coming from the Giga factory. We don't have information if Fremont will keep using the older cells, or I believe it's the 2170s, or if they're actually going to be using the 4680s. Giga Berlin will be using the older cells, the 2170s coming from their factory, the initial supply, and then hopefully they'll transition to the 4680s. Now, plans to deliver first 4680 vehicles in Q1, and what they stated is that they have been building the Model Ys in Texas since December. So the production started. They need to get certified before they can actually start shipping the vehicles to consumers. And their goal is in the first quarter. So first quarter should end up around March. Some deliveries to the East Coast will be coming from Austin and will be most likely in the VIN number. So if you have the VIN number and the 11th character, if it's an F, is going to be Fremont, but if it's an A, it should be from Austin, and that's how users most likely will be able to tell. Then we have big focus is to ramp production of 4680s and improve quality. Tesla expects to continue to be chip limited in 2022 and alleviate in 2023, and then Tesla expects to be constrained by battery cell limitations. Then we have some question and answers. When asked about the $25,000 car, Tesla is now working on a $25,000 car at the moment. Their focus is somewhere else. There was another question about the home and HVAC. Tesla views this part of their mission and will address this problem someday. Easier problem than to solve when HVAC system in the house versus a vehicle, not space constrained, and confident that they can integrate this better than anybody else has before. So that is something that they've discussed and might be transitioning towards that. Full self-driving, Elon believes adding more licensing types for full self-driving is too complex and will instead focus on lowering costs for transportation overall. Expects big gains to be made with robotaxi in terms of value. Some significant advancements in full self-driving stack coming in next few months. Elon will be shocked if they do not achieve full self-driving being safer than a human driver by the end of 2022. Again, I think they can definitely do it, but there are some things that they might need to change. With the current hardware, it's doing a great job, but once they upgrade the cameras and some of the images that have shown up online with the new Sony sensors, there's just so much more of a view and can track more. So that might be something that helps them out. Also might be placing of the cameras, but I think there's definitely a lot of potential there. And they keep on pushing them out, and the software is getting better and better. So they did discuss Dojo will be brought online this summer, and then it will be a question of how long until it's more useful for training than a GPU cluster. Elon is waiting for a GPU team to tell him Dojo is more powerful before shutting down GPU cluster. He expects Dojo to surpass GPU cluster power in 2023. Dojo is not required for full self-driving, however, will be important in terms of cost optimization of training from video clips. Tesla bot, which is Optimus. Tesla expects first use of the bot will be in their factories, first with simple tasks like moving parts around. And that's where how many employees they have and maybe little minute operations the robots will do, and until they can train them and get better, just like they did with the welding, where it replaced people welding and it's just the robots doing welding. But Optimus will be, looks like, way more specific in how it replaces the labor pieces that they can add to their factories to maximize the production. Then you have Tesla insurance, which is a big one. Now, Tesla insurance is currently offered in 5 states in the US, pushing California hard to allow for informatics insurance. Based on Texas, Tesla insurance has a high take rate, and customers appreciate the feedback loop. As Tesla continues with their step-by-step rollout, they plan to turn their focus to Europe in late 2022. So we should be seeing it in more and more states as time continues, because that's what their focus is. They hope to get it to I think they said between 80 to 90% of the US, and then look at the European locations for the Tesla insurance as well. It'd be very interesting to see how they compare to some of the other providers, and that's something that we're waiting for. Now, we did see a Cybertruck prototype, and we'll look at some pictures in a little bit about it. But Cybertruck, it's not factory constrained to achieve Cybertruck volume production. Biggest issue is making Cybertruck affordable despite having awesome technology. The goal is still to achieve 250,000 units per year. So from some of the prototypes that we've seen, seems like they're packing in more technology than they might have initially thought. So they're really trying to make the car futuristic. One of the prototypes did show a head-up display. So just like the Model X and the Model S has it in their car, and then they have the center display as well. It's very limited by what you can see. It also shows that it does have side mirrors, and it also opens up via the card, or you're going to be just using your finger to swipe down like on the Roadster. But they seem to want to make it as futuristic as possible and add as much technology to it as possible, which could cause it to increase in price. Everybody that put a deposit down for the prices that were listed on the website, with a single motor, dual motor, and tri-motor, starting from $39,990 going up to $49,990. Now, will they keep those prices, or will those prices increase, since they did pull those prices away from the website? Now it's just showing a $100 deposit if you are interested in putting your name on the list. What price we will get, what model we will get. There's been recent rumors that we might not get a $39,990 model, which is a single motor, and they might just produce a quad motor, not even a tri-motor, and a dual motor. But we have to kind of wait and see what that roadmap looks like, and if the price of the car increased. Since they announced it, a lot of the car prices increased, so there's a chance that that $49,990 car is going to be more like $58,990 or $59,990 in the current state, just with how things are changing. Even with its latest news that in China, they did change the standard range. They're not making it anymore and offering people real-world drives for the same price. But it was a car that was offered and removed because they switched the production. Now, how it will go for the Cybertruck, very curious, and we kind of have to wait to see it out. It'll be nice to see the final product and go from there. The Cybertruck information. So hopefully 250,000 units per year. They have so many on order, they should be able to fill it within 2-year time frame. So energy storage, Elon believes all energy storage use cases will use non-nickel battery go forward. Plan is to ramp, however, supply chain constraints are still top of mind and will limit growth in near terms. Overall production goal is to produce as many cars as possible, and Tesla is confident they can hit their growth goals without introducing a 25,000 car at this time. 10,000 unique parts per car, so it is important to continue to drive simplification to reduce possible supply chain constraints. Batteries 4680 form factor is being worked on by both Tesla and their partners. We know that Panasonic has put in, I believe it was $700 million or invested to make batteries for Tesla on the 4680s. Main focus is to drive down cost and increase efficiency. Not everything has to be 4680 according to Drew. Not everything has to be 4680, most likely referencing that some companies or some cars might not get the 4680. We know at launch that Giga Texas will only carry the 4680s and Fremont will not. And then Giga Berlin should follow with 4680s once they go through the 2170s. So that's kind of the information that we have there. I got this information, found it, and just kind of wanted to go over from the earnings call. Now, let's take a look at something else. So this here is the Cybertruck. When you look at the Cybertruck, you have Elon standing right there. Elon is fairly tall. You have Joe Rogan, which is about 5'7". So this prototype seems much longer, bigger. No door handles. You can see that little dot right here. So we look right here. So you should be able to swipe down and unlock the car since we don't have any door handles. We do see a decent lift right there and no caps on the tires. Good clearance. Overall, same dimensions. They stating that it didn't change too much. This car is a little bit dirty from driving in the factory, so the other parts that we can see is the bumper and some changes to the front. And then here we have a Model Y. So this one is most likely using 4680 cells and built at Texas. Let's go ahead and take a look at other pictures. So here we have the Cybertruck charging. When we look at the charging process, and there are some changes to where the charging port is placed. As you can see, they did place it onto the fender and not the body of the Cybertruck. And you can see the mirror as well in place, as well as the one big windshield wiper and the bumper in the front. You can see there are some differences as well. So there's plenty of changes that have come to the Cybertruck. We will see what else comes to it, and stay tuned for more. Hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for watching.